Hi, it's Toxic Foxy here. I know I haven't done a video in a long time, but I think I might be doing them more because I'm really going through a rough time right now and I'm so used to having somebody to talk to, like especially late at night. Like it's 12:30 in the morning right now, and I don't anymore generally. So it makes things a little harder for me. And I kind of think I'm going to be doing a lot of vlogging, and I'm trying, sort of deciding to put my truth out there because I think I've been hiding myself for a really long time. Trying not to get emotional. And I think the truth sets you free, as corny as that sounds. And I think it would help everybody to understand me better. So, and part of the reason why I need, like, people know this about me, especially I feel like my guy friends. I feel like it's just easier for me to talk to guys a lot of the times. I don't know why. I feel like they just have a different perspective. Like, I feel like when you talk, and I love talking to my girlfriends, but it's just like this bitch back and forth stuff where, like, I feel like with guys, they're more enlightening when you talk. Like, they're not about ranting and bitching. They're about they see it from the other perspective, from their perspective, and evaluate and stuff. If that makes any sense. So today I want to talk about just how hard it is when you're somebody that is more emotional than most people and you feel things stronger than most people. And people don't think I'm like that because they see me as like Miss Badass Meggie, like I'm Toxic Foxy, lift weights and I perform and I'm, confident, and like that is my general thing. But there is a part of me that is just a complete mush cake and that is secretly home upset all the time and crying all the time. And, you know, I might be talking about certain people, but I'm not going to use their real names because I would get killed. And I don't exactly have permission, but I don't care. Whatever, they're not going to see this. So, I had a recent situation where things were on and off for a really long time. And in the beginning, it was like I couldn't let go of my past. But there was a point where I finally did. And even though that other person was still in my life, I did let go of my past. And I did fully love this other person. And I felt things that I haven't felt in so long. Like everything felt like it was the first time for me. And that could be scary. I mean, let's get real. Like, if you've been through, and I obviously haven't talked about all the crap I've been through, but when you've been through a lot of emotional abuse, that type of thing is so scary. I mean, I felt vulnerable all the time. And the one thing that, whatever. And so things are like officially like shit. Like, this person will never talk to me again, probably. And I put up this giant emotional wall, and I hate when I do this, but I am somebody where I need open emotional communication. I need to be able to talk about relationships. I need to be able, like, if you say something effed up to me, oop, there goes my lighting. Anyway, if somebody says something messed up to me or very hurtful, I need to address the hurtful thing they've said. I can't just ignore it and then act like everything's okay and just keep doing, serious stuff and then pretend you didn't say it. And this particular thing that was said to me hurt so bad that I felt like dying, and I felt like my heart just exploded all over the place. And it was said to me like right before the holidays, and I just didn't know what to do. And so this light, I'm sorry, I'm struggling with this light, so deal with my white face. And so when I tried addressing it, I got totally flipped out on. And it was something they said. It wasn't even something I did. It was a situation where we were going to do something pretty serious, and I just felt like I need to address this because this has been clenching my chest every day, and I just can't ignore it anymore. And the response I got was so messed up, and it was just dismissive, and it was just shut down. Like, the hardest thing is that it is so hard to be with somebody who does not want to deal with anything emotional, does not want to deal with relationship issues, and their way of dealing with this was just to end it with me immediately, or shut down, not talk to me for 2 to 4 weeks, and it was just always like this. And normally, like, I'm a very passionate person. When I really, care about somebody, I'll surprise them with little things. I'll cuddle them all the time. I'll be like, I miss you. I miss you. I miss your face. And like, I'll be very gushy. I'll chase them down. Like, that's just how I am. And this time it was like the emotional wall went up. And when the emotional wall goes up, it is like the Hulk. Like, there is no getting through this thing. And for weeks, it was just like, I could not feel anything. I felt, and I knew in my head, I was like, crap, it's the emotional wall. I know myself. I know I'm going to say things, and then it's going to come crashing down. And that's exactly what happened. And now I'm reading back on things that I said when I was like, well, the emotional wall's up, and it's not changing, and blah. And I'm just reading this stuff now, and I'm like, oh my God, like, this was not the right way to handle things. The emotional wall is awful, and I hope that anybody out there that does this realizes it quicker, tries to break through it quicker, because if you have it up too long and you let time pass, it is then too late to fix that. And so I keep crying all the time. I'm in physical pain. I went from like having that wall up and like losing weight and being awesome to like, I'm getting fat again. My body is reacting and I'm having stomach problems. Like, it's just awful. And so the wall is bad, and I advise that if you have a problem, to break through it or get help for it, or because it destroys things. It ruins something that could have been good. And some of it is because if there's no open communication, I really have trouble. And I think about my past two things that lasted like I was in something 5 years and something 4 years. And the reason why they lasted that long was because the communication was awesome. And we would tell each other, even if it sucked, even if it was like something so emotionally painful, we could talk about something emotionally painful and I cry in front of them and us still know that we weren't leaving the other person. And it was just, we were doing it because we respect each other. We wanted to have that open communication. And that's, for me, that's how things can last, is if I have that. And when I don't have that, when I'm scared that if I say something, you're going to disappear on me, I'm scared to talk to you. Like, it's just how it is. And I would always be scared to say anything because I knew if I tried, it was just going to be like, fuck this shit and just not talk to me. And that makes it so hard for me. And that made me put up a wall when that would happen. And so the other stupid thing I did today, I mean, the wall's not was stupid, a little bit ago, a couple of weeks, month ago, whatever. The other stupid thing I did today was like, I know somebody that's in connection with this person and I work with them and I know that they hang out, and I was stupid. I don't know if I was stupid or if this is better for me, but I asked them, I talked to them normal because it had been a while, and then I said, so how is he doing? And I didn't expect like, oh my God, he's crying and shit. But I kind of expected like, well, he's a little, in one way, he's a little like relieved because things were stressful and whatever. But on the other hand, he does miss you sometimes. No, that's not what I got. I got, don't take it the wrong way, but he's relieved and at peace and relaxed. Meanwhile, I'm suffering. I'm like thinking this over in my head 100 times, like, and I'm just like, oh, really? And it crushed the crap out of me because this is also somebody I was like best friends with before we got involved. And so like for me, that strong's a form bond for me. Like for me, I am so weird because friendship is so strong to me. And like I have another, once I love somebody, that is it. I will love them. Even if they're so fucked up, even if it had to end, I will love them because they were special to me. They were important and part of my life. They affected me in different ways and, brought certain things out of me that the last person didn't or whatever. And it just kind of crushed me that this person just doesn't care. It was like, oh man, I got rid of that bitch. I'm happy now. And I'm just like, what the hell? Like, this is where I'm just not used to this because the two, I have to say, this is the first time I've ever been in a situation, like, I feel like I have a lot of girlfriends that have dated guys that are not as emotional. They're not as romantic. They're not as, well, I mean, he was very sweet and nice. And I do, like I said to him, I appreciate everything you did for me. That was sweet, nice, blah. But like, most of my girlfriends, their guys are not very emotional during a breakup or like whatever. But I'm weird because, the guys that I have dated in the past have been very emotional and very passionate. And if we had a fight, they would, if we had a fight and, like, let's say we stopped talking, like, the next day they would probably be at my door like, baby, I love you, this is stupid, like, we're having miscommunication, we're having a communication problem, let's talk this out face to face, I love you, like I'm just used to that type of thing. And, like, I was just in something where, like, this was just a whole different realm for me, and I didn't know how to deal with it. Like, I almost felt like I was, like, new at relationships when I'm not, because I'm definitely, like, way experienced. And I was just like, I don't even know what to do. Like, you know, now I'm also talking about like, the recent stuff. There was stuff in the beginning where I was having commitment issues because the last thing I was in was just so emotionally taxing and abusive that I was not, and, like, this is what stinks. I was nice to somebody for, like, year, like, perfect girlfriend material, like, did everything right, blah blah blah, and it didn't matter. I kept getting yelled at. I kept, like, it was just, I was still being treated like crap. And the problem is, after that, you're kind of like, what's the point? You know, what the hell is the point? Because, okay, with the first thing, I was not that great. And I spent a long time beating myself and regretting what I did to that first person, because there were certain things that I was just awful. So the second serious thing, I was like, I'm going to be awesome. I am going to be, like, the angel of girlfriends. And I did that, and then I got walked all over and taken advantage of for years on end. And I was so exhausted from that it just kind of carried over into the next thing. And I remember I used to say things to this person like, date other people, have sex with other people, do whatever, because I know where I am right now. And you're not going to get the full me. Like, I mean, even now, nobody would get the full me. There's still going to be a part of me right now that's completely guarded, because there were some things, I'd say, in the last year of this thing that were becoming damaging for me. And now I need to, like, I finally healed that stuff from the second long-term thing I was in. I'll call him Aaron. Me and Aaron really resolved our stuff, and he changed as a person and became a better person, which did get a little confusing, but, you know, he also knew that I was in love with somebody else. He even told me, like straight up to my face, you're in love with this person. Like, I feel like this person was your soulmate, or is your soulmate, and, like, I'm always going to be here for you, but I totally understand. Like, he could see, like, if something bad happened with this last person, I just felt like death. Like, it just, you know, and, you know, and so what happened was, I reconciled things with Aaron, and we talked things out for a while, like, in terms of what had happened in the past, how he treated me. He came to me, because we weren't talking. I kept telling him, F off, F off, F off, F off, like, because, you know, obviously I was in love with this other guy, and I really just was like, leave me alone, leave me alone. Plus, he was dating someone else, so I'm like, why are you talking to me? Leave me alone. But there came a point where, so, like, we weren't talking for a long while, and then they were done, and he came to me, and he was like, I know you don't want to talk to me, but I feel like in order for me to fix myself, I need you to tell me where I went wrong, because he really wanted to fix himself, because he found that with this other person, he was being like way shittier to that girl than he was to me. And on top of it, she was kind of doing stuff to him that he used to do to me. And so, like, sometimes Aaron would come to me and be like, "Holy shit, did I do this to you?" And I'm like, "Yeah, dude. This is why this is why I tell you to F off, because you did do those things to me and it was messed up." And he was like, "Wow, okay, I was batshit crazy." And I'm like, "Yeah, you kind of were." And the problem is I'm too nice, and that people, like some guys, it's so simple for them. Like, well, he treated you like crap, so why talk to him? I want you to tell him off. I'm like, because he really wants to improve himself. He really wants to talk to me to understand what he did wrong, to improve himself, so that no matter who the next girl is, he's going to do it right the next time. And you know what? I can't fault somebody for that. I mean, yeah, a little too late. That would have been nice if he listened to me, when we were together. But I can respect that. And, and another reason why I was telling Aaron to F off was I felt like he was crossing boundaries and getting a little cray. And I was like, if you can't respect me, you need to go. Like, I can't. So, we had made a pact that he was going to respect me and not be a crazy person. And that we could, maybe meet for dinner once a month or something and have discussions so that he could better himself. Like, I guess almost like a therapist in a way. And I really kind of just didn't see anything wrong with that. And I know people would disagree with me. But I guess I just see the good in people, and that I do, no matter what happens, I want him to have a good life, because I do think he's a good person. And I wanted to help him. And you know what? He did change. He did become a better person. He's actually surprised me. And I still have reservations with him. There are still things that he did that I hold on to that are, bother me. That I'm like, well, I don't want to be treated like that, which is why, I did want to be, I wanted to be with him, he totally got why I had dated somebody new and stuff, because I wanted to be with a nice person. And I still do. But I'm also very understanding with that people have emotional issues. People have mental illness. And you know what? Like, as long as they want to get the help and they want to change, and like, I can't, I would never judge anybody with this stuff, because I know so many people that have these types of problems. And, I can respect somebody that comes to me and is like, I know I was shit to you in the past, but I really want to speak with you so that I can be a better person. Why would I say no to that person? As long as they're willing to respect my boundaries and understand where I'm at right now, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And so that's my truth with that. And he knew I loved this person I was just with very much, and that I had a hold on it pretty bad. And sometimes I don't know why, because there was a side of me that always knew I needed more. I just needed more. I needed somebody to be because I think for some people, it's so simple to them. It's like, well, I do nice things for you, and I give you hugs and kisses, so that's good enough. But for somebody like me, and this is where, I tell people all the time, I'm like, I just wish I was more simple. My mom said to me today, like, if you were simple, this would, like, you'd be married. And I'm like, I know I would be. I said, but, like, I need emotional support. I need, like, if my car's a piece of crap and I can't drive to you, I don't want you getting mad at me because I can't drive to you. I want you to be understanding and be like, oh, babe, like, holy shit, I'm sorry, like, let me drive to you. Or, you know what, let's hang out tomorrow instead because that'll be a better day for me to drive to you. Or, whatever. Or I'll see you on Monday, but not be mad at me. This would be like, I'm pissed and now I'm just not going to talk to you. And I'm just, and stuff like that where, like, there were times where it would be like, I'm really exhausted from, like, doing this or doing that. And so, like, I'm just going to stay in Sunday. And I would be like, okay. And I would be sad. I would really want to see this person. But I was like, you know what? I'm okay. I understand. Do you want me to drive to you? Do you want to be, by yourself? It's cool. Like, especially, like, I would say this past time because I really wanted to show that I know who I can be and I know I can be the best version of me. And I was trying. And, but I just was used to. Another thing that depressed me again was the communication. Like, why can I talk to other, like, my girlfriends or even my guy friends? I could be completely open with them and honest and stuff. And, like, with him, it was so hard to ever do this. And I was just like, I just don't know why. I want us to be able to talk about the future or, like, and now I get why we didn't, because some of the comments that he made were basically like, I'm not thinking about that. So I was like, well, now this makes complete sense. And I guess he thought I didn't feel that way, but I did feel that way. Like, I did feel like there was a point where I did feel like this is it. I'll be honest. I hated admitting that because I knew admitting that meant letting go of so much other stuff. But and also, like, man, like, I mean, this is like, this person was completely different from anything, like, I was familiar with. So like, both personality, lifestyle, like, the whole thing. It was like, I just tried something completely different and, whatever. But, there was always two sides. Like, there was always, like, part of me was like, God, I love him so much and I wish blah, blah, blah. Like, very passionate. Like, I always have had this, like, passionate thing for him. But then the other side of me was like, but when I think about marriage, I need somebody more emotionally supportive, openly communicative, isn't going to shut down on me when I ask a difficult question. And I was like, shit, like, I just want these two things to, like, work together, like, and I don't know. I definitely think I'm going to vlog more because I only feel good talking about this stuff if I talk about, if I talk with it to the person I'm having the issue with, but I can't. Like, this person probably wants me dead on the street somewhere. So I'm sitting here festering in my own crap, like, in this emotional stuff. And definitely doing this makes me feel better because I just need to talk to somebody, like, so bad. And I just, and part of me, I don't know, I do want to say I'm sorry. Like, I know there were times I even knew what I was doing and that I could have been better. And that I could have done things better, but there were a lot of things that I was frustrated with, and this person was like, well, I'm stubborn and I'm like this, so that's how it is and I'm not changing. And the problem is, it's like, well, what am I gonna do, live in your parents' basement? Like, like, you know, are you only gonna say you love me like once a month? Like, I just don't get this. Like, I'm so used to like guys that would just call me and be like, and I mean, it's not like I've only had one relationship where somebody's been emotionally open. I've had a few, like, I mean, where it was like healthy and the guy would call me and be like, hey babe, good morning, like, I love you so much, how's your day, I miss you, like, okay, bye babe, love you, like, it's, and I'm just so used to like that, like, and not that I want you to like throw love around carelessly, but like more than once every other week. Like, I mean, and I shouldn't have to always say it first. And I don't know. At the same time, like, it's so funny because it's not funny, but a part of me just wants to say, like, you know what? I'm just gonna say this. I'm a fuck up. There you go. Does that make you feel better? I'm a fuck up. I'm a crazy fucking wacko. I'm like, and that's the insane. That's like, this is when like emotions get to you and you're just like, because I've had this fight, and I've said this before, and I said, it's so funny because I remember having a conversation with people about issue I had with a friend. And I said, if it makes you feel good for me to just say, I'm a whacked up piece of shit, I'm just going to say it because it is what it is. We can all be pieces of shit sometimes. I'm sorry. Like, nobody is perfect. We're human. God did not make us awesome, perfect creatures of goodness. Like, and it's, I don't know, but wow, I really just rambled. I'm sorry, guys. Like, I don't know who's watching this, but you know what else though? Like, I kind of want to do these videos because I have this new friend, and what should we call him? I'll just call him R. I don't want to give out names. But R told me that like he watched one of my videos and he was like, I really like your video, like I like your personality, like you seem to be coming out more and stuff. And I just was like, like, he's right, like, and he's somebody that kind of got me, like, we started talking and I didn't realize, but I was like emotionally beating myself up over and over. And there were times where like the person I was with would make a mistake and I just keep blaming myself. Like, okay, there were legit things that I did wrong and I'd like fess up, but then if he did something wrong, I would just hate myself more instead of being like, he's wrong. And I would just keep saying, well, like, I can't point out that he did this or did that because I really hurt him in the past and I'm a piece of shit and I don't deserve this and I don't deserve... And R was like, dude, like, you're totally beating yourself up. You're totally putting yourself down. Like, stop it. Like this thing he did was obviously wrong and you're beating yourself up over it and you're disliking yourself. And he said, like, you're very smart and you're very talented and, said all these nice things about me that I feel are generally true. Like, yeah, I'm going for a master's degree and yeah, I'm experienced in relationships and yet, like, I have a lot of life experience. I have a lot of work experience and education and, he's just like, you know, for somebody with all this stuff, like, you're really just beating yourself up, and, you know, it's unnecessary. And I kind of was like, you know, he's kind of right. Like, it's okay to confess to something you did wrong and feel bad about it, but to beat yourself up over something that somebody else did wrong, or, you know, whatever, or like chase somebody down because they choose to not communicate with you, it's kind of like, no. You know, and so in some cases, R had really helped me be confident again in myself and in the person that I am. In most cases, I still am having my moments because I'm still crying, and there are times where, like, I keep reading over the past texts. I need to stop doing that. But I'm reading over these past messages, and I'm like, God, I said, like, what the hell is wrong with me? Like, I definitely said that because the wall was up, and I was, like, emotionless for, like, I mean, it was a long time. It was like a month I didn't feel crap. And then suddenly, bam, like, put the knife in my heart every single day. Like, I'm just like, oh my gosh. And then I felt really bad too, because then I had to subject my friends and R and Aaron and all these people to this emotional crazy crap. On top of it, my Aunt Sophie's visiting from Florida. We had the whole family together tonight, and I just couldn't get my mind off of it, which is why I'm here. Because I was just like, this is crazy. Like, I need to be enjoying my family, and I'm just like, going over and over and over in my head. Like, but you know what the crazy part is? Despite all this crazy stuff, and despite how whatever mistakes he made or mistakes I made, it doesn't even matter to me. Like, I really have heart for this person. Like, and the biggest difference between us is he just was so easy to kind of go, I'm tired, I'm done. And it's not that easy for me. Like, even having the conversations we were having recently, I was like crying that whole time. Like, it wasn't like, and this is why I wish we always did face to face, because over Messenger, like, you can't see what I'm doing. And he probably thought I was being some cold, heartless bitch, but I'm like talking like, if he had seen me in person, I would be sobbing through the whole thing. Like, you know, and this is stuff you don't see over the I'm like so done with Messenger and text. Like, I'm used to being with guys that is like, let's have a serious discussion face to face right now. Like, I'm just used to that type of person. Like, and I'm used to the guy being that way. Like, you know, and I guess I should consider myself mostly fortunate because, like, I'm finding that depending on the generation or whatever, it's like, I don't like talking on the phone. Let's do everything over text. And I'm like, oh, it's so annoying. Like, if I have a serious issue with you, I need to talk to you on the phone, or I need to see you right here. And the problem is, I think I'm just scary to face sometimes, because the wrath of me is not fun when I'm pissed off. But also, you know, it's harder, like, when you love somebody, because you're like, rah, rah, rah. Like, this part of you is just like, God damn it, I want to kick his ass. And then you see him and you're just like, mushy, I'm so cuddly, and like squeaking and mush mush and just dum dum. And I'm just like, oh, and then I'd be like mush mush and like and cuddles, and then the night's so perfect, and then like I'd leave and I would be like, good going, Megan, great talk, glad you opened your mouth. Like, then I'm gonna just like, you know, aggravate and you know what it is, I bet you, in a way, like, despite that, I'm better at communication and I'm better with my emotions. In a way, I think me and this guy were so similar that it was kind of like canceling out, because it was like we would both do the same thing. We both admitted it. It was like, yeah, when we have problems, it drives us crazy. And then we see each other and it's like, but I love you and I can't do this. Like, and I'm like, oh my God. I can't believe I'm saying this on this video right now. Like, it feels good, kind of, because I've had to be silenced and it's been driving me crazy. Like, I just need to be myself, and you know, and I need to clarify something for you people. Or for this person, if he ever sees it. I'm not saying any of this stuff mad. I'm not saying any of this stuff like I hate you or like it's totally the opposite. I'm just putting my truth out there. That's all. Like, I'm just being real and I'm being me, and that's, you know what? I should have been giving you that in the first place. I should have really been honest about, my stuff and the real reason for why. Like, yes, like, I saw Aaron a picture. It's like, well, the truth is I've been helping him out, and the truth is he's not a douche anymore, and I can trust him to respect me. And it's a lot different where, like, yeah, like in the beginning it was totally different. In the beginning, this person was not, this person was a little cry, and I had to be like, go away, go away, go away, go away. But I'm a very forgiving person, and I don't know. Like, it's like, it's kind of like, and he never understood that. Like, he thought I was crazy. Like, I mean, like he knows a lot about my past and like what happened with like my first. And he's like, how can you still like him? Like, how can you still be nice and see him? How do you still have his Facebook, or how do you? And I'm like, because he is beautiful to me, because I loved him once and he was an important part of my life, and I can't hate him. And you know what? I'm finding a lot of people don't get this about me, but I'm also feeling like my compassion for others is sometimes destroys or hurts my relationships, because they don't get it. They don't understand it. They don't know why I'm like this, and it's crazy, but I'm like, maybe I should just be a nun and help people. I mean, people are like, okay, Megan, like, I can't see you being a nun, but like, I want to do something. Like, I've really been thinking about going back to the church and stuff. Oh my God, my mom would be so happy right now. But, something where I can help people all the time, or be like a life coach. Yeah, like R had suggested that, like a life coach or a mentor or something where I can help people and not hurt them, where it is like I am recognized positively for my giving and caring for people and understanding, and having them yell at me and me still having compassion, because I'm just a very strong person and I can see behind that stuff. I think that's why I do have close girlfriends. I have some close girlfriends with some issues, and there have been times where they've had phases where they've been nasty and stuff, but I see right through it. I know what's going on. And even if it hurts me, I know what's going on. I'm like, this is happening because of this. And then sure enough, I find out later, and it's like, I'm so sorry, and like, blah, blah, blah. Wow, I have so much to say. This is probably a really long video, and I need to go to bed. I've been thinking about, for some of my videos, now this is going to be crazy, and I'm kind of apprehensive about doing this because it would reveal so much, and I am worried that this would not be okay with this person. But my friend R had suggested, I have letters that I wrote to somebody that I never gave to him. And I should have. But except for like one of those letters, like there's 10. And only one was like all mush mush, like love shit. The others were like. The others were like me gushing emotions and then me feeling bad for needing more and kind of being like, I don't know if this is, I want this to work and stuff, but I don't know if it can because I'm just so used to having more. And sometimes it's hard to explain what you need more of. Like, I'm not talking money. I'm not talking possessions. I'm talking emotional support, and when I feel like the world's crashing on me, I can rely on that person, and I could not do that with this person. He just, and it's not his fault, he just didn't know what to do. He wasn't very experienced, and so I don't fault him for that. I'm not mad about it. And when I'm not going to get into details, but just this person, I went into this knowing, wow, I have way more experience than this person. And I'm probably mentally way more ahead in life. And this is going to be a challenge. But I think part of it, and somebody said this to me, was like Italian mother syndrome. And I've noticed that with myself. I'm very like, I want to give, and I want to take care of. And I want to give, take care of, coach, like life coach, or motivate, or and the problem is, it's like, that's good and everything, but like, if you want like a life partner, it's got to be somebody where you can motivate each other. Like, you both motivate each other, or like that person's already like established, got their stuff together, like being on the same level as you. I'm discovering is like the biggest thing ever. Like, emotional maturity, being able to openly communicate, like all that stuff. Yeah, like, but anyway, and I'm just hoping none of this comes across insulting. I feel like it might, and I'm not meaning it that way. I'm not mad, and I'm not blaming this person for anything. Like, and there are things that I think I should have been like, you really need to improve this, and like be more verbal about it. But like, I just don't think, I think he just thinks I'm crazy and wouldn't thinks he does nothing wrong. And so my thoughts would not really matter in terms of suggestions. I know what I did wrong, and I know I can fix them. So that's like, I don't need somebody to tell me what I did wrong. I know what I did wrong. And I don't, I blame myself for that. I'm not blaming anybody else. I'm not looking for somebody to fix me. I know what I did wrong, and I don't want to do that again, which is why I'm taking my time. Like, I really wanted to just take my time and be single for a while, and I felt like nobody was letting me, and I wasn't strong enough, I guess, to be like, I gotta let this one go, because even though I'm really into him, like, I just don't know. But anyway, I'm blabbing, and it's almost 1:30 in the morning. But what I was gonna say is, I thought about doing some videos where each video would be, I read a letter, and then I reflect on the letter. These 10, and I kind of have an inspiration for this because my friend Megan, many years ago, I used to have this crush on this guy. And we changed his name to Mark, and we called it, and she wrote this like whole little like love tragedy story called The Mark Chronicles. And so now I'm starting to think that it'd be cool, and kind of scary too, if I did a video videos on Mark Chronicles, but it would be like based on these letters, and each, so it'd be like, you know, the first video is like Mark Chronicles letter 1, you know, like, and I think it's a good idea, and I think it's good for me to get it out, but I am so scared about conveying that much stuff on the internet. Like, I mean, the thing is, like, where I'm gonna post this, though, like, he doesn't have access to anything, so it probably doesn't matter. But I just feel better when I'm being honest with myself and with everybody else. I just, you know, I'm tired of hiding. Like, you know, right now, for example, you know, some of you don't know this, I have 2 Facebooks because I'm crazy. And one was kind of like for me and this guy, and then the other one was like my past life. And the whole point of it was like I was trying to let go of my past, but it didn't work. And then I used both. And then it was like the old me versus the new me, and it was kind of like they were just like because there were things about the old me that I missed so much, but then there were things about the new me I love too, and I just never knew how to like mash those things together. Like, it was just, and now I'm just like, this is ridiculous. I should have one Facebook. Like, no. And you know what, if people see pictures of things I did or people that I hung out with that like they don't like screw it. Like, whatever. It is what it is. Because my biggest problem, and this is where I am a bitch and I will admit it, but if you're just gonna like ignore me, disappear, not want to talk things out, like, just, I'm going to be like, fuck this shit in my head and just do what I want. And I really hate that I'm like that. I'm trying to not, like, I know that's a problem of mine. I get vengeful and I can't stand it. And I don't mean vengeful like I'm loyal to a person. I would never, ever, ever cheat on somebody. Ever. Like, it's not, I'm a one-time, like, especially, like, intimately, like, that type of stuff, one other person type of gal. Like, no. You know, so it wasn't like that. But, you know, I'm the type where it's like, I'm trying to rely on somebody I'm with for help or something, and they're throwing a fucking tantrum. So then in my head, I'm like, okay, I'm calling up another guy friend. Hey, can you help me out? Because person I'm with is useless. Like, I mean, it's, and I know that's so messed up. Like, this is the part of me I kind of don't like, because I think that just comes from all the crap I've been through. That's not normally me. But, like, you know, if I'm going to the person that I love and I'm just like, I'm going through so much and I really need help with the car, what have you, and the person is just like, oh, I'm just like irritated with something else you did. So, no, not going to help you, not going to see you, I'm going to not talk to you for 2 weeks. You can bet your ass I'm going to ask some other guy to help me. Like, I'm sorry, but like, I have guy friends that are really good friends that care about me, and that if I was in need, if something was wrong with me, if I had to go to the hospital, they would bring me to the hospital. They would help me shop for a car, which, yes, one of them did. And that's, you know, Aaron helped me shop for the car. And I know that's messed up, but you know what? Like, no one was willing to help me. And I didn't want to go alone because I didn't want to get screwed over and some car guy charged me millions of dollars. And I normally would not do that. But I was just so frustrated with, like, how much little emotional support I was getting. I just, you know, and you know what? At the same time, I'm not blaming him. I think he just didn't know how. I think he needed me to say, I need you to do this exact thing like this. Like, you know, like verbatim, like, you know, where I'm kind of used to, like, I'm used to just somebody more experienced where you say, well, like, I need this. Okay, boom, like, just happens. Like, you know, anyway, oh my God, I've been rambling, but I keep wanting to talk. And I feel like the video is going to get boring, but at the same time, I'm so scared to get off because I don't like being alone with myself. I think too much. I really I miss having somebody sleep over. I hate to say that. I'm like, but I do. Like, I miss having somebody hold me in their arms and just falling asleep on them, and it not just being sleeping next to my friend, like it being feeling warm inside. Like, just it's so hard to explain. So sometimes at night it's just hard. And I know I have friends that would sleep over with me just to make me feel better, but it's not the same. Like, it's like, yeah, you're my friend, that's cool. It's not the same connection. Like, I mean, I feel like even my mom, like, if I was really depressed, my mom would sleep over. Like, and that's really nice and everything, but it's it's not the same. But anyway, I also wanted to video because my hair and makeup came out pretty good today. My outfit's kind of doing its thing. So anyway, so I'm gonna wrap up this video because it is pretty late and I think it's been an hour, and most YouTubers only do like 20 minutes. So I think I'm gonna do these Mark Chronicles, I think. And but there's also a lot of other things I'm planning to do because I need to go through reinvention again. And I go through this, like, every couple years, I need a reinvention. And this year needs to be a lot of me being me and not being scared of it, and not, because, I might get a new tattoo. And you know what? I told this person that no matter what happened, I would get this tattoo. And I'm still going to get it because, at this point, like, I have a tattoo that represents my first. And I know that's crazy, but, like, each one of these things makes me a stronger person, makes me who I am, helps me to learn something. Like, it's just, I don't know. And I still want to get this tattoo because, yes, in some respects it represents him, but it also does represent me. And I think it would just be beautiful. And I bet you it will end up being one of my favorite tattoos, probably, because it's so me, and it's love and music and beauty and all that stuff that's just like, you know what? It's what I used to talk about when I was younger. I used to, like, when I first was in love, I used to be like, music is my life, and love is amazing, and it's, and beauty and all this stuff. Like, I kind of like that person. Like, and I think I was like that for a while, and I don't want to lose that, So that's one thing I want to get into. I'm doing more art. Like, I want to get into combining art with music and kind of, I'll get into that. That needs to be a secret for now because it's going to be an original idea, and I just don't want to put it out there until I definitely record something and do something. And it's going to be wacky and crazy, and you're going to think I'm nuts. But you know what? It's awesome, and it's me, and I don't care. I'm going to learn sword fighting. I say this every year, but I'm going to do it, and I'm going to be Xena, and I don't care. I don't care what people think of me. I don't care if, like, my family thinks I'm a weirdo, or, if this past person goes, girl lost it. Like, you know what? Like, whatever, fine. I lost it. Good job. Yeah, you also do realize that the really intelligent people also are like, anyway. That sounds awful. I might do other vlogs on, like, I do actually, there's another video I need to do. now that I think about it, because it's something that kind of annoys me, and it's like when people judge people on certain things, and I need to make a video on it. It just occurred to me because it happened to me this week, and I was just like, I'm pissed off. So, but yeah, I think this might be a good outlet for me. Like, usually I'm a diary writer, but it's not doing it for me. And I think this is a good way to get me, the real me, out again. Like, you know, look at me. I mean, I fit the part of misery. Like, I look like I'm going to a funeral. Like, you know, but I am sort of gothy, which I've mentioned, and I'm kind of happy that I sort of have that going on tonight. But anyway, so this weekend is going to be family stuff. It's Easter weekend. My aunt from Florida is here, and she's like my favorite aunt in the universe. So it's going to be good times. There's going to be egg decorating and lasagna and lots of candy and all this fun stuff. So that's happening. But anyway, this is a very long video, and I'm pretty sure you didn't sit through half of it. But I want to thank you for listening, and I promise my other videos will be a tad shorter. I just need a therapy session. And YouTube's free. Therapy is expensive as hell. This is free. And I'm being me, and I don't care. And it's awesome, because I don't have to. I mean, I do care. Like, anybody that wants to join my YouTube, I appreciate it. I love you. But I'm going to say what I'm going to say. And the cool thing about YouTube is if you're a hater, I could just block you. Like, you know. But anyway. So that's my truth. And that's my vlog today. And I am sorry. It's long, and I am going to shut my mouth now because it is late and I'm going to get like 6 hours sleep. So I hope you have a lovely holiday weekend, whether you celebrate Easter or not. You know, I know people have different religions. Just enjoy the weekend. Party hard. Or eat lots of candy. Or both. Okay? All right.